Hey. I'm going to do something that is not normal. People, the professionals, these high suits, suited with a briefcase, in high positions, they don't know how to deal with crazy people. Even the common people. When you sing your message, sometimes they say, here goes the crazy one. It takes a crazy man to fix a crazy situation, a crazy problem, a crazy Africa of crazy people. You don't expect a crazy person to do anything. The Africans are a crazy people. They see people coming. Are you stopping and thinking? How many times in a day do you stop and think and say, what is the problem? When you say the Chinese, the Russians, and the existentially African Europeans, the Western nations, the Europeans are Africans. The British are Africans. The Americans are Africans. The Australians are Africans. The Boers are Africans. By self-identity, by self-approval, self-conviction, dedication, by master planning, their identity as African. And therefore have the right to come in and take all your mind proceeds, all of it. All of it. Think about this, $1 billion worth of mines. There was an Indian, 2018, he was bragging to his people that he worked with $25 million, promised $25 million to the Zambian government. And he was picked from the airport to the government. I was there in 2018. I had to struggle for 20 months just to see. Not even a secretary. An assistant secretary, not even an assistant secretary, a director. Now he was begging that he was making $1 billion every year for coming with $25 million. Don't you realize that the economic model in Africa is a bad model? It doesn't work. When are you going to realize that you need something else? They come. They give you a loan. Give our governments a loan. Now, our governments, their main job, from president, the presidents, I think they must have these big beds in their offices where they come in there, they sleep and snore. They sleep and snore, they snore and sleep. They snore and sleep because how can such intelligent people don't realize that these loans that we get are not going into the industry? Are not designed to go into the industry. It's 5 years, next 5 years, 10, 20, a decade, 6 decades. The money is not going into our people, into the industry. And how do you pay loans? By producing something. Which nations have been producing? African kids and children, and they're now 40 years old. They have never had a job, but have a degree. When are you going to realize that this is the problem? Well, you cannot realize. Hey, wake up. Unless you wake up, how can you see? How can you know? Unless you wake up, you cannot see if you are fast asleep. It doesn't matter how educated you go and get, but if you are fast asleep, then you are fast asleep. Then you cannot do anything. Then you cannot see the problem that you have. How can we, Africans, watch every year, perennially, every year, and we talk and talk and talk? How can we? How should we? How must we? How can we watch the very imperialists, the nation that colonized us, the nations that colonized that's colonized us? They colonized us. Then the Chinese, they come in peace, in friendship, and freedom. And guess what? They take the mines for nothing. They get military bases and they're given land for nothing, for free. We give all this stuff and get nothing but loans that we can't pay. And we can wake up. The youth can wake up. The older people can wake up. Our generation, fast asleep. Our generation wake up. Now, they come. Let's say we add all the African nations and say one continent. So they come to this continent all together. Think about the minerals. Think about the minerals, their value outside, not what is mined, is trillions of dollars per year. And guess what? We only get a few $billion, maybe $100 billion, less than $100 billion, maybe 50. Divided by 50, $1 billion. You're lucky if you get $1 billion. You get $50 million each nation. Of the trillions that are coming out, we only get 50 million, maybe 100 million if you're lucky. And we watch that, and we run around to this institution. Our educated guys, highly educated guys, they're running to this meeting, and to that meeting, and to that meeting, and to that meeting, and to that meeting. Wake up. The only way is the Rapid Africa Plan, the fast-track modernization of Africa. If not rapid, then what? If not fast-track, then what? If not the plan, then what? If not the vision, then what? If not I designing that plan, then who? Brothers and sisters, let's wake up and rally behind a plan. That starts with the idea of solving the debt, number one. Number two, by changing the model of mining, that any loan we get goes into mining 100% or 80% that we get and put in our coffers within 2 years. Every country has enough money to drive its own nation for 40, 50, 60 years. Brother, sister, African, wake up. If you're fast asleep, then you're fast asleep, then you can't see. We must have to be fast asleep in order for us not to see such a simple mathematics. You come into Zambia, you get $10 billion worth of minerals every year, and I get there in Zambia 50 million. And then you give me a $10 billion loan, and I can pay it. The very same miner gives me a loan which I can pay. Handcuffs. That's called handcuffs. 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 Colonial, imperial, hegemonic handcuffs. Wake up. The only solution, the Rapid Africa Plan, the fast-track modernization of Africa. That's your plan. That's your solution. That's who you follow. That's what you stand behind. That's what you drive. That is your only solution. That's your power.